Reid, this is a huge game for everyone across the state. Is there one from your time at Stanford that kind of compares to what was this rivalry game for you guys?
When we played Cal, that was our big rivalry game. A lot of people from the Bay Area would come out. Feels like you're either a Stanford fan or a Cal fan out there, and there's a lot of blood that goes each way with that. So I'd say that was the biggest rivalry out there. Obviously, I wasn't from the Bay Area, but you could feel it from people that were from there that didn't even attend those schools, that they had some sort of feel either way as far as how the game went. So that was always big. It was called Big Game Week. Everything kind of shut down for that week, and it was a crazy atmosphere every time we played them.
What did the Stanford people not like about the Cal people? What did the Cal people not like about the Stanford people?
I don't know. I don't really see the beef, but I mean, there's a lot of back and forth. I mean, it's fun and it's all part of it, but I wouldn't say there's one thing negative. I just know that when it was Big Game Week, if you saw someone with Cal stuff on, it was a problem.
Have you gotten a feel for what it's like here?
A little bit. I mean, we're kind of in a bubble here on campus, but obviously going home for Christmas and then coming back, kind of thrown right back into it. Really haven't got a feel, but I'm sure once we get down there later today and start seeing red all over, we'll really just get a feel for the game.
When you were in high school, what was the big rivalry game for you?
In high school, Creed and Durham Hall was another private school. It was about 20 minutes away from us, and the same type of deal. It feels like in Minneapolis, if you're going to a private school and you're a big-time basketball player, you either went to Creed and Durham Hall or you went to De La Salle. So we always played against those guys. We all were from the same neighborhoods. Those were always fun games.
Reid, as someone that's had tons of road battles along the way, what kind of advice can you give to the younger kids on this team to deal with big crowds like you're going to see tomorrow?
I say just enjoy it. That was the biggest thing, is just enjoy it, suck it all up. I remember going on some of my first road games as a freshman and kind of just looking around, and you kind of just got to enjoy the fact that there's that many people there, whether they're cheering for you or not. I mean, that's a great atmosphere. That's what you work hard for, is to be on that stage and just soak it all up. I mean, at the end of the day, this is why you come to play college basketball. You just got to love games like that. So instead of it being a negative thing or on the road, it's tough to play, those are all true. But at the end of the day, just kind of enjoy the crowd, enjoy the game, and just enjoy the intensity of being there.
Some guys thrive off of kind of going into someone else's house and kind of being the bad guy, you know, and embrace the booze and all that. Is that part of you, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little more even-keeled than that. A lot of guys do kind of seek out negative energy that might be towards them and kind of use that as fuel, use that as motivation. I feel like I got a lot of internal stuff, so I've never been one to kind of reach for those things, but I'm sure certain guys on the team will use that to help them as far as the booze and people chanting stuff at them. So whatever you need to do to kind of get yourself up to play, I'm all about it.
Who's
Who do you
most
think on
likely
this team
to
is
enjoy
likely
that?
to be that person?
What'd you say?
Who on this team is likely to be that person that would use this negative energy in a positive way?
I'm not sure. I think you got to be in the environment to really tell. And I think after the game, we'll be able to tell who's able to take it. And I think that's such a personal thing. I mean, that's not something that you would necessarily outwardly say, but I hope some guys find it, whatever they got to do to get themselves ready. I hope we all can just come together and get them in.
Cal said EJ is a guy he's still trying to figure out his role, figure out what he does, but when he puts him in there, he's really productive. What can he give you, especially at that free spot around here, kind of working in that zone?
Yeah, he gives us length, energy, he can defend. I think you saw last game, he had a big-time putback for us. As far as threes, he's more athletic, longer than most of them, and more physical. So the biggest thing for him, just stay in the course. Like Coach said, he's trying to find more minutes for him and things like that. He's had a great attitude throughout the whole process. I think that's the most you can ask for. His work ethic hasn't dipped in any way. Still comes in, approaches the game the same way. So I think once he starts getting those more minutes, more opportunities, you'll really just see his production go up, because he's doing everything right. I mean, he just needs a little more opportunities, and once he does that, I think he'll really start to play well.
How hard is that for a young guy to, with all the recruiting hype, to come in and know you have to wait your turn, you have to work at it a little bit?
It's tough, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's why you come to a program like this. You understand that there's competition. You understand that it can be your time one game, somebody else's time the next game, but I think the coaches do a great job. We do a great job as a team and players, just kind of keeping each other humble and keeping each other collective, as far as we're doing all this together. When we win a game, it's because collectively we all won that game. It's not one guy. No one guy is bigger than the team. So just understanding that really helps the process. We've all kept each other's spirits high because we've all gone through ups and downs with minutes or playing well or not playing well and things like that. So at the end of the day, everyone's going through it together. So just trying to keep him positive and just understanding we see the player that he is, and we know that it's going to start clicking for him.
What have you been told? What have you been told? I was here late. What have you been told about this game in terms of the history and how much goes into it? What was your kind of first perspective on this game going into this one?
I haven't been told much, but just people say this is the one game on the calendar that you can't lose, and it's such a big game. I mean, obviously you see a lot of people from the state. They got a lot of passion about basketball, a lot of love for it. And these are the two schools that kind of divide it. So just the history that goes into it, the rivalry, playing on big stages and things like that. So it's just been talked up a lot, and I'm just excited to be a part of the game and kind of put our piece in the history book with it.
Thanks, man.